Mike and Tom are registered with Stewart Partners Global Advisory LLC.
Common Sense Finance with Mike Wiginton and Tom Farrell of H.L. Wiginton Capital Management, an independent investment and financial planning firm in downtown Jasper. Mike is a chartered financial analyst charter holder, and Tom is a certified financial planner professional. They are here to discuss and give their thoughts on current financial and economic matters. Now, with Common Sense Finance, here are Mike and Tom.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Common Sense Finance. I'm Mike Wiginton, this is Tom Farrell, and we want to hit on an item that is kind of popular amongst the millennial groups, and that is the issue of FIRE. FIRE is an acronym that stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And what it boils down to are these folks are like living under extreme circumstances, reducing their living expenses down to just the basics, and with the goal to save up to 50 or more % of their income so that they can retire possibly in their late 30s. And so it's kind of well, not kind of, it is a movement. I don't know how widespread it is. It's gained quite a bit of attention in a lot of the financial journals I read. And I know that we have an in-house retirement expert, has lots of opinions on that. So I wanted to ask Tom what he felt was the great qualities or not about retiring at 38 or 40.
Well, I mean, look, I know people that retired at 65 and they retired too young. So retiring at 37 or 38 or even 40, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But these millennials, and I know one very well.
Probably know a couple.
Well, I know a lot of them, but I know one really well. And their idea of what they need to do and their priorities is maybe a little bit different than our generation or your generation, the older generation. So it's odd to me to think about somebody trying to work for 12, 15 years, eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all the time, to say live in a RV or whatever and save up enough money to retire. I mean, what are you going to do when you retire? What are you going to do in a 50, maybe 60-year retirement? If you retire in your 30s, I mean, that's odd to me. But
it's hard enough, isn't it, to do any legit forecasting, planning over a 20 to 25-year horizon, much less a 40-year horizon, 40 to 50-year horizon. And so that's one thing. The other thing gets into the psychological issues of satisfaction with your life. I personally don't believe that people were built to be in a state of constant recreation. And so,
I know you don't want anybody to retire. We've had this conversation before.
I think you should work at something that you enjoy and you get satisfaction out of.
Right. Even if you're financially able to retire, retiring that young of an age brings up a lot of problems that maybe people don't think about or don't realize or encounter until they're well into it. And one of the things that you look at, and if you've saved up enough money at that age to retire, what happens 20, 25 years down the line? Whatever happens, stuff comes up, and you find yourself in a bind financially. Well, you're probably not going to have a lot of marketable skills to go out and get a job to replace that income that you need. I mean, that's the biggest worry to me. So, those are just some things we run across from time to time. I know we may not have a lot of people that are interested in that type of lifestyle, but you never know. We could. So.
Yeah, and so I also think about what are you get. There are things that I wanted to do and did do in my 20s and even my 30s that I don't I'm glad, man. I had a ball, had a great time doing it. It was fantastic. We traveled around paddling whitewater for a number of years. But I don't really care so much about doing that now. And not that I might not go to, but to the degree that I was doing it, to the extreme that I was doing, I don't care about doing that now. Yeah. Why would I want to give up that sort of satisfaction in my early life? Well, if I'm not happy at my job, I think you should get the skills you need or change jobs and go somewhere where you get satisfaction out of your from your work.
And I don't think a lot of these knucklehead millennials are having kids these days. I mean, what do you do if you have a kid, or two, or three, or four?
Well, I think it's just a matter of time. The clocks start ticking, and then you wind up having kids later in life, and then that's a financial change, okay? Sure. And so now you do have to go back to work. And to the point you made earlier, that I think is really good in today's world, those skills, that skill set you have, can be obsolete in a matter of a short while.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't take 10 or 15 years to be obsolete in today's world.
You're right.
Well, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's just our thoughts on that. We thought that we'd share that with you. We will see you next time on Common Sense Finance. Thanks.
Just can't believe all the things people say. Controversy. Am I black or white? Am I straight or gay? Controversy. Do I believe God? Do I believe me? Controversy. 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 I can't understand